refreshment time, folks.
I'm just gonna go watch a movie.
Do you like scary movies?
I don't watch movies.
I have to return some videotapes.
You have a TV?
No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. Don't need a TV.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.
Over 1,600 titles, each for rent at just $2 the first night, and only
Fiction.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on this invention they show shows, right?
It's a laser disc.
Okay, I want channels 18, 24, 63, 109, 87, and the weather channel.
Welcome to the Frog Brothers podcast with your hosts, Justin and Alec.
No.
Oh my God. Nick, you sick son of a bitch. Hey, my name's Justin. Welcome to the Frog Brothers podcast. With me beside me is my esteemed colleague, my brother, Mr. Alec.
You sucked that guy's dick?
And then we have Nick over here.
Hi.
He's named Nick because anything that rhymes a dick goes inside him.
Go, Web, go!
Except Dick. Just things
Yes.
that rhyme with Dick.
Yes, Nick goes inside himself. So does a guy's named Rick. So do Guitar Pick.
Friendship.
And we're already off the rails. Welcome to another fascinating episode.
Ooh, welcome.
Of pop culture, of craziness, TVs, movies, video games, you name it, we got it.
Sunday.
Welcome.
Are those gumballs fresh?
Sort of. You want one?
Do I need a quarter?
No. Because I know a secret.
Oh, put out your little paw for Santa Claus.
A red one. Without touching
If you see gumballs anywhere that are this size, buy them for me and I'll pay you back.
I was going to say, you need some more.
Yeah. Well, this is all it came with, literally.
There was
We'll
a
take a blue one.
build a
You want one of
gumball.
these?
No thanks.
There's a build a gumball machine game, I guess, in the game section at Target.
Fancy. Well, we are on episode number 63 of the show, and it's Memorial Day. So thanks to all the veterans and folks that serve that aren't brainwashed and all those types of good things.
Fuck it!
We're only supposed to.
Hey.
I'm only thinking certain people that aren't crazy, brainwashed people.
We're only supposed to celebrate the dead ones today.
You celebrate them all, including the dead ones.
Oh.
Mostly the dead ones.
This gum already tastes like shit.
Did you already chew the sugar out?
They're too small. You need to put some big ones in there.
They won't fit down the dispenser, but I
But
guess.
you're popping the top off anyway, so.
Not a whole lot of news going on over Memorial Day weekend, but we got a big announcement. It's not really that big of an announcement, but I want to hype it up. Alec and I have a new YouTube video coming. It'll be a series of us constructing the Lego Ecto-1s that we each recently picked up. So that's going to be most excellent.
Are you guys going to race?
No, I think we're going to do bag by bag build and show everyone that. We'll do some time lapse on it. So it'll be easy to follow along.
I got one too, but who knows when I'll build it.
There's like 3,000 or 2,700 pieces in there.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting the Statue of Liberty one. It's about
go with it.
It's like 2.5 feet tall.
Oh, yeah.
You just
that'd
kind
be
of sit
cool.
it behind the Ecto.
Yeah, that'd be very nice.
But it's like 2,600 pieces too.
And then other news is that people have started spotting the Ghostbusters branded mini Malos and full-sized Malos made by Campfire
Not at our Walmart today though.
marshmallows. So
Okay, guess you guys aren't ready for that yet.
So it's not here in the Midwest just yet, but we imagine we'll be seeing those soon. And then any other good Ghostbuster stuff going on, kids?
My fearsome flush and bug-eye ghost also came in pretty minty.
And his were fucking pristine.
I had to lay some VHS tapes on them because they're nice and big and flat, and if you stack them, they stack pretty well with weight, so I stacked those on there and flattened them out perfectly.
Yeah, those cards look
And
beautiful
they're hung
on
up
that
on the
now.
wall over there with my Slimer and Stay Puft.
If you want to see a review of those, and me have a rant about Walmart, go check it out on our YouTube, and you can watch me open those up. They're lots of fun. If you don't have them, get them. Just wait till they're in the stores, though.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Box Lunch Gifts has a
really cool plastic cup.
It's like a drinking water bottle.
with all possible Ghostbusters logos on them.
It has a Raise a Call, the Cedric Hotel. It's actually pretty awesome. So
It's got all the guys' patches.
It's pretty excellent seeing that.
Both license plates.
Yeah, some stuff that we haven't seen on much merch before, like the Cedric Hotel, we haven't
Pretty
really
cool.
seen anything, and then the Raise a Cult, we haven't really seen anything in official capacity.
We're going to go searching for that this week.
So.
And the cartoons will be leaving YouTube later this summer.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So we're not going to get them all released.
That was kind of triggering.
Because we were going to...
I almost think they did that just to tie fans over because the movie was delayed. Now that I'm looking back on
They'll
it.
probably get a physical release or another streaming service or something.
I need a physical release of Extreme Ghostbusters.
Yeah, because we need to finish the
Yes.
reviews after we get done with
We do.
Twin Peaks. So
yeah,
but we still got almost a year for that. So
Yeah, but they really need to get that released. So if Ghost Corps is listening, please release that on physical format.
The corpses of ghosts.
I was about to say Ghost Corpse. It's just hilarious.
It's hilarious. Waka waka waka. So, what'd you guys do this weekend? Anything exciting?
My weekend,
Pretty good. Pretty good.
yeah, pretty much just edited that video, got that up.
Oh, well, we went to... What day was that? Friday? We went to Movies in the Park in Lenexa, Kansas for Ghostbusters, and we had several ectos and several of us in our jumpsuits and packs. And
Yeah, we had a pretty good turnout there. The city of Lenexa was a little sketchy at first, and then guess what? It's a real big hit when you have Ghostbusters at a showing of Ghostbusters. So I'm not sure if the lady knew this or not, but
Well,
she
we
thought we
tried,
were some sort of...
We tried to coordinate a promotional event, and I think they thought we were shysters and trying to sell stuff.
Yeah, she thought it was some sort of hustle or dodge, and that's not
But they
the
hired a
case at all.
professional photographer who was there, and we're still waiting on those pictures. But
Hey, speaking of Ghostbusters and outdoor showings, let's check out the Screenland Armor's list of July and August movies because holy shit.
Balls.
If you are in the Kansas City area, do yourself a favor and check out the Screenland Armor if you haven't yet. They're doing amazing showings outdoors. They've got plenty of new movies inside as well, so they've got a little bit something for everyone. But they've got Top Gun, they've got Twister.
Independence Day starting
Yes.
off July 2nd, Top Gun
fuck
July
yeah.
3rd, Pee-wee's Playhouse, or Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Ghostbusters, Spiderman Into the Spider-Verse, Twister, Labyrinth, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Pitch Perfect, The Mummy, The Princess Bride, Tremors, A League of Their Own, Hook, Willow, Spaceballs, and Mean Girls. They're really like showing Mean Girls at Screenland.
It's a cult hit, man. For
I mean, I give it
there's a
its
whole
due
generation of
thing.
girls there, and it's pretty funny. Like it's
Yeah,
one
it's
of
a
those
good
movies.
movie.
I'll
Yeah,
watch
that's what I
if
mean.
it's on.
Like, I don't have hate for it. I just
No, it just seems
It's not my
a
go-to
different
cult film.
category than the
If I'm
rest.
going to watch something like that, I'd prefer Clueless just because Paul
Well,
Rudd.
see-
But that's me.
I prefer like Heathers and Jawbreaker.
Yeah, those are a lot darker though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just like darker movies, I think. So,
I definitely want to see Top Gun. I've never seen Top Gun at the theater.
and that'd be good coming up because
Yes.
Top Gun this year.
Eventually.
Yeah, after Ghostbusters.
When is that now? November?
Yeah, I think it's a week or two after Ghostbusters. So, if you're going to the box office in November, please see Ghostbusters Afterlife, week 1 and week 2, and then you're
It's gonna be
allowed to see Top
interesting
Gun.
to see all these movies competing against each other in such a short time frame.
No, over the holidays, I think it'll be good because a lot of people go to the movies a lot. The weather's shit. People have family in town.
I'm worried for
Christmas.
Ghostbusters because of the Eternals and Top Gun.
I just can't believe they. Why would you wait and put that out after Halloween? Halloween's the perfect.
Well, they keep marketing as fall too, so I feel like there's a chance they're waiting to see if things are going to open
They
back
could
up, and
bump
they
it.
might bump it a
Yeah.
month.
They could bump it.
Yeah, I would really prefer that, to be honest with
Son,
you.
your ego is writing checks your
Body can't cash.
With all our Twister shenanigans lately, I wouldn't mind seeing Twister on a larger screen as well.
You screw up just this much, and you'll be flying cargo planes full of rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong. But Nick can't fly. Sorry. You got to know your Top Gun.
Thanks, Dad.
So, let's jump right along.
What are we going into first? Well, I'll tell you what we're going into first this week.
Thanks, Mr. Operator.
It's May. It's 2002.
You know what I just watched?
Me pulling a can off some moron's fist?
Return of the Jedi.
Did you see Alien? When that creature was in that guy's stomach?
Oh my god!
You ever seen that really old movie? Empire Strikes Back? Jesus, Tony.
Welcome to Retro Release Reviews.
Yeah, I guess we should have done this next year for the 20th anniversary.
Oh, welcome to the Spider-Man review. Oh.
Nah, it's fine. We'll talk about it then. We can review whenever. We can celebrate an anniversary as well. We don't have to do the whole movie. We can talk about
The
things around
19th
it.
anniversary.
Hey, so Spider-Man, year's 2002.
2002. I graduated high school in May of 2002.
I'm old.
And I don't know what I was more excited for, graduating high school or the movie Spider-Man, because as a kid, Spider-Man was my favorite comic book character. I read most of his books.
We were Spider-Man's age, and Tobey Maguire was not.
Yes. And then I remember buying the Spider-Man video game for PlayStation 2 with some graduation gift cards that the school gave us. So shout out to the school for helping me out get one of them old PlayStation 2 games.
Me and Nathan played the shit out of that game.
It's such a good game. It was
I'm
so
pretty
good.
Well, he had it. I didn't, but it ruled.
Yes. But we're here to talk about the movie. I don't remember seeing this for the first time in the theater, but I just remember fucking loving it. I'm sure I saw it opening weekend.
I remember
why
going.
wouldn't I? That's the sort of movie you do that for.
I remember seeing this in
I
theaters.
remember the Nickelback song playing on the radio a lot.
Yeah, I try to forget that part about it, but
The Nickelback / Saliva song.
that's the to me that's the worst part of that movie.
struck a nerve.
Wasn't bad.
Pissed me off.
Made you feel like a hero listening to it.
I gotta tell you, as a Willem Dafoe fan, I love his performance in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Like,
when does he ever let you down?
I wouldn't say he's let me down. He's just been more subdued. Mm-hmm. But it's cool to see him wild as fuck.
even as the Green Goblin, I didn't like him much. You know, I liked him more as Osborn, just himself, like not in his alter ego.
Right.
He's so fucking menacing. I love the look he gives Aunt May when she slaps his hand at that Thanksgiving dinner, and she looks like he looks like he's gonna just fucking kill her, and you're like, whoa! And only Willem Dafoe could pull that shit off.
I just keep thinking back to Wild at Heart, and I expect Peter Parker to come out and be like,
"This is a snakeskin jacket."
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking. That's what I think of Willem Dafoe now. Like, I'm just traumatized by his performance in that.
Mm-hmm.
No, Spider-Man, though, I remember seeing this in theaters for sure, and just, I lost my shit over it. Nathan, I think, also had the novelization of it, but I think he had it before we saw the movie, so we were, like, on the playground, I remember, at Countryside, reading this shit, and being like, holy shit, look at this! This is in the movie! Yeah. Because it had, pictures from the movie of, like, I remember one thing we were excited about was the costume that he wore during the wrestling thing. It showed like his first costume in
the spray painted like jumpsuit.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, that's cool. Bonesaw is ready.
Yeah, that was awesome. I forgot the part where that's my problem.
What does he say? That's a lovely outfit. Did your husband make it for you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's actually a pretty good zinger there.
Well, it's a good zinger for people who are offended by that kind of shit.
That wrestler's clearly a homophobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that not the actual actor, but the wrestler in the programming.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do a good job. They did such a good job with the Peter Parker origin
Does he not
story
know
in this.
What?
Who that is?
Yeah, I know who it is.
Okay, he said actor.
Yes, I know. He's actually a wrestler. How else do you think he got that role?
Yeah.
Well, wrestlers are actors.
Well, I mean, to a different degree, for sure, yes. Different type of actor.
It's more of a stage theatrical performance.
They're more Shakespearean actors.
My dick is an actor on onlyfans.com/howdydoody.
MyPenisPuppetShow.com.
You can never remember what you're...
Well, no,
they're all different.
His penis acts.
I update it constantly because I keep getting banned because mine's
for crude.
Yeah, they keep classifying mine as something called ultra porn.
That too, and then there's the other site that he still has and operates, which is the little dioramas. Most people use for action figures. Like, you see all those people posting all those NECA figures in front of that new sewer backdrop, and Alec just poses his dick up in like a little red tie around the top to make it look like it's a Ninja Turtle.
Well, I do short films too, and like I'll do like a little miniature town's landscape, and then I'll be like, wah 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 wah.
Your dick's Godzilla.
Wah 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 wah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Wah, 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 wah. And yeah, my dick is Godzilla, and then I cut to
shoots nuclear
a bunch of people
semen.
going, ah! So, hey, we're talking about Spider-Man.
Exactly. That's perfect. We get this sidetracked too easy.
There's the joke where he's like, yep, big change, and it looks like he's talking about his dick being bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I.
That's a
was
classic
thinking.
one.
Ridiculous.
Too bad.
There's some funny shit in this.
Too bad Mary Jane didn't see him through the window that time.
No, that's what I was going to say. Is they did the origin story so well in this that by the time you get to Spider-Man: Homecoming, you don't even need to repeat it because they already did this first act of the movie so well. It doesn't matter the villain stuff; it just tells the story.
They did it again in Amazing, didn't they?
Yeah, but I really like to forget those ones because
That
those
was
are
the Martin Sheen has been, right?
yeah, but those are so bad.
I saw that one once.
And I tried to
didn't
like
even
him.
see
I
the
mean, I
second
tried to
one.
like him, and I've seen him, and I tried, and I just couldn't.
I was thinking the same thing, Nick.
When they introduced Spider-Man in Civil War and not his own movie, so
Yeah. Well, I think that helps, though, right? It really, I mean, you know the story enough. You've already had 2 origin story movies. Everyone knows that. Like, everyone's familiar with Peter Parker.
Within 15 years or whatever it was.
Even the special effects in this, like, hold up pretty well because some of it's pretty terrible CGI, but at the same time, like, they blur enough of the backgrounds and have fast-pacing shots often enough that you really...
The worst bit is...
It doesn't take me out of the movie when I see that.
The worst
for the most
bit
part.
is the overhead when he's running, jumping on the buildings without his suit on.
How iconic is the score?
Yes.
I was
I
listening
really like
back.
the opening credits.
Ooh, man, it's so good.
Arrangement.
Yeah, that score
I used to
is
listen to that a
amazing.
lot on the soundtrack.
Well, and it's Danny Elfman, so you get so
Yeah.
many of those like Batman vibes because he's so good at the superhero genre, and like you're just like, ooh, that's so good because it's its own thing in there.
I will say it's my favorite score of any Spider-Man movie so far. So, I mean, I can't compare it to 2 or 3, but out of all the ones that have come out,
Yeah.
Is it that different? Does he reuse a lot of the same?
I don't know. That's what I
can't
mean.
remember either.
But
But
that-
I definitely don't remember anything from the new movie scores.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't ring in my head like this
But
one
that's
does.
a lot
so.
of movies these days don't really seem to lean in on the score anymore.
Well, like the Avengers theme itself
Yeah,
is
you
really
remember
good.
that,
There's some
'cause
Black
it's-
Panther stuff in my head I can hear still that's done by the guy who did Mandalorian, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really fucking prolific right now. He's a great. I just love how different his stuff is.
The guy who wrote to the 2002 Spider-Man, I forgot to write down his name. How hilarious
writer
is that?
of the movie?
Yes. But he also wrote Jurassic Park with Michael Crichton, the movie.
Nice. So yeah,
Mission Impossible, he was a co-writer on Lost World, Panic Room, Secret Window, War of the Worlds, Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones, and the 2017 Mummy. So kind of some good stuff and some
misses.
yeah. Like
I mean-
Panic Room's not bad. It's a
Yeah, I
cult
like
film.
Panic Room, I saw that.
And Secret Window is
Secret
not
Window's
bad.
good.
So
yeah, that's fun.
War of the Worlds is not Spielberg's
that's Tom
strongest for
Cruise
me,
also, right?
but I do like disaster type movies, so I still will watch that from time to time. Mission Impossible is classic though, and Jurassic Park. How can you deny those? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, that's a.
And this is good.
Sam Raimi's directing this, right? And so we're getting him into the MCU officially now, which is great. And obviously you get the Bruce Campbell cameos, and in this one I love it. He's the wrestling announcer at the beginning, and
Yes.
he's the one that coins the
Name
phrase
is,
Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man.
So I thought that was good. And then they got the old classic cartoon theme song in there in the credits, but they also have the guy playing the little acoustic guitar in that little montage, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, Aerosmith does the arrangement in the end credits, right?
I don't fucking know.
Aerosmith did the Spider-Man theme. At the
Oh, I recall hearing
Speaking
the
of
actual
things I don't like
theme
about
song.
this movie,
Add that to it.
there's not a whole lot of things, but like the big one's the web coming out of his wrist, because it's just not.
Yeah, that's not canon at all. And
If anything, it should come out of his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever a point in the comics where it comes out of his body? Or was it always like a...
I don't know.
No, it was always a device he invented.
Unless he bends over his ass and
And if
says,
you've read the comics, right? I mean, now Venom, obviously the symbiote is able to make its own webbing and stuff on its own because it learned it from Parker, you know, when it was with him. But in the comics, it was always him because there's plenty of issues or whatever where he runs out of web fluid and it becomes like a huge thing. So these movies don't ever present that problem.
There's a point when he stops having the ability to shoot webs in one of them, but I think it's because he's like all pussy and out. Maybe when he quits being Spider-Man for a bit or something. I can't remember. There's something like that in one of these.
Yeah.
Dehydrated.
But it's dumb. Like, yeah, he's already jizzed too much that day. He just shot too much webbing at his other fucking hole.
Is it Mary Jane?
Yeah. She's stuck
Does
to
that
the
come out
wall.
of both wrists?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Kirsten Dunst is Mary Jane Watson's great. She has a good role there. She's
yeah.
She's bouncy.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that famous, obviously,
Fucking
that
A, man.
upside down kiss that everyone loves to recreate in cosplay nowadays, you know? So that was a pretty iconic moment, though. It's like, oh, yeah. You're like, oh. And then the thing about this, it's hilarious, just when you think about Batman movies and criticism we've given to that is Peter Parker just talks like Peter Parker the entire time, and, like, Mary Jane just can't figure it out.
Right.
He's like, I think you know who I am, or you know who he is.
Well, they live next door to each other for 15 years, and he talks like she doesn't know that.
Yeah. And she knows that. She just isn't interested in him.
Yeah. Let's talk some of the ridiculous comedy and or just cool filmmaking, like when he comes in and runs down the stairs and against the wall and shit.
Yeah,
like
that's
just
awesome.
always, it's just one of those cool little things that happens in there. The development with Aunt May and Uncle Ben is pretty good in this too. So
Yes.
like by the time you get to Uncle Ben being shot, even though it's not been too long into the film, you are like, oh, this is kind of like, can we move on from this? I don't like this.
Yeah, and it's that key conversation beforehand where he's like, I don't know if he's afraid to talk to me or if I'm afraid to talk to him about it. You know, kind of gets that point across that like he's trying to figure out how to be the good uncle there. And then like you really see the kick in the nuts when he's like, stop trying to be my dad. And like he's like,
yeah, they don't leave on good terms before he dies.
No, so they really build that up very well. I like that. Very nice. Good work.
I like the teacher at the beginning. And he's like, you were talking during that teacher's entire presentation. Let's go talk about how we listen. I always got a kick out of that guy. He's fucking hilarious. I don't know why.
Yeah. But you already see like his plan to steal Mary Jane from him, even though he knows he likes, because they have that conversation. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, Peter, why would I ever want to know that? And then he goes and repeats it to Mary Jane. You're like, fucking prick. Taking good information there. Then you see him getting picked on and bullied and stuff, which is kind of funny. And the fact that it's like so, like that's the stereotypical, almost like 90s sitcom style, like scenes in there.
Is that, who plays Flash Thompson in this?
I don't remember the guy's name, but he does a good job.
Is that
Producer Boy?
Tell me if his name is Joe. You know who I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
I'll butcher his last name. Just confirm if it's Joe or not.
Speaking of Flash, I love it when he picks up Mary Jane in the Prowler car.
Joe
Maganello.
Yeah. I love when he picks up Mary Jane in that Prowler car, which is funny because it's a Plymouth Prowler. Obviously, the Prowler's the name of another villain, which is funny, and it's a sports car.
He's in the DC movies, too.
Don't scratch up the leather.
What?
He's in one of the DC movies, at least.
Yeah.
What's that character he was playing? I can't remember now. It's like an end credit scene.
I don't
know. Deadshot.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, he plays Deadshot at the end?
That's
oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
That's Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
He's in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. He's in a lot of different stuff. He's real big into geek culture, so he's has one of those celebrity D&D groups.
Deathstroke. Deadshot's.
I was about to say, I'm not
Deathstroke.
DC guy,
is basically the
names are similar. Yeah.
They ripped Deadpool right off of Deathstroke, down to damn near the costume and everything.
They did that a lot in DC and Marvel, and I think
Yeah.
Marvel did it more often, ripping off. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny because everyone loves Deadpool, but like how many people know Deathstroke? And you're like, that was the original. So this goes to show you how you market a character. You can build it up.
Even their costumes are somewhat similar.
The Thanksgiving scene is pretty hilarious.
Yes.
And fucked up.
They both come in. It was a murder at work. That was a
I had to
great
beat
line.
an old lady with a stick or something.
Yeah.
I had to
Get
beat
these
an old lady
cranberries.
off. I should get that as a sound clip.
Beat off an old lady.
I had to beat off an old lady.
Yeah. Peace.
Go, Web, go!
No, that was a good scene in there, though, because, you know, they come in there and they're trying to figure it out. And he's like, I can't believe you didn't leave. You know, it's like, I don't recall him being here, and the window's, like, open. And then he's bleeding at table, and then, of course, Norman just gets up and fucking bails.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Harry.
Do what you have to do with her, then, Broomer, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Get rid of her. I don't know.
Yeah, basically, he's saying to sleep with her and then send her on her way. Like, get what you need out of her and then send her on her way. And she's like, you didn't defend me. And he's like, it's my dad. You wouldn't understand the pressure.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, I'm going to have some pressure for you right here. I want to kick you in the nuts.
You're like...
My friend, don't be a jerk.
Wait, come on.
True. So, what was your... Who's your favorite side character in this? Who do you think does the best job, Nick?
Including Willem Dafoe?
No, besides Spider-Man and Green Goblin. Can be anybody
Jameson.
else.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget him, man, because hands down, he's iconic.
Yes, he is probably...
He
he's just like
he jolted me back into the movie last night.
For sure. He always does. He's great.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him in the new
Yes, it's so good that they...
That was definitely a good big surprise.
Apparently Stan Lee was at one point wanted to play Jameson.
Oh, really? That'd have been cool.
It'd have been interesting, but I'm glad we got...
Yeah.
What's his name?
The actor?
Yeah, what's his name? I can't remember it now. I'm very familiar with him. It's just I'm lost on my head.
You put
now.
me on the spot and I don't think of it.
Exactly. But he's in a lot of good stuff. A lot of Jason Reitman stuff too.
He'll probably be somewhere in Afterlife.
Exactly.
They got to play Commissioner Gordon in Justice League.
Yep.
The pumpkin bomb like shit is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. Yeah. See, I was like, it starts with a J. Why can't I not think of this?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. It's annoying.
Not J.K. Rowling.
He might even just be the best person in the movie.
Yeah, I think so.
But between him and Willem Dafoe.
Oh yeah, Willem Dafoe.
Willem.
Like, I don't hate him as Spider-Man, but he's a great Peter Parker when you start talking about Tobey Maguire and like what he did with the role.
Yeah, I definitely don't hate him. He's there's just something about the Tom Holland Spider-Man that makes it superb. But this was good for the time.
The accurate age.
Well,
right.
He's just younger and looks younger, but I mean, he has that accurate.
I mean, Tobey Maguire looks young, but
he does a good job as each character, and you forget how young Tobey Maguire actually looks in the first one. So that
he also is supposed to be 18, then he's in college the rest of the.
Yeah, so it's not
he
like
was 27 in the first movie.
Okay.
You know, the actor Alan Ruck was fucking 29 in Ferris Bueller, which is funny.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Anyway, just throwing that out there.
Aunt May is great. I forget the actress's name, but she did a.
Aunt May is the head of My Human Centipede.
Mm-hmm. No, Aunt May, she's
What's
great.
What's that from?
What's that from?
The Twister Hop.
Is that from a song?
Available on YouTube.
Well, that's all.
YouTube.com/The Frog Bros.
Trying to give them a plug.
The only plug you have lights up and glows in the dark.
We released that Twister music video. We should have talked about that in the news segment, but that was also released this week earlier. You should check that out. It's called the Twister Hop.
Or last week.
We filmed it in and around Twister filming locations in Iowa and Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And Wakita.
In April and May, we made 2 different journeys.
Across the sea. Not across the sea, though. Across the land.
This land is your land. This land is my land. Cultural appropriation.
No.
Is that all we've got on Spider-Man? I feel like we could talk more about it, but I'm kind of high, so.
Thoughts on the finale?
There's a few good things in there. Like, they don't really play up the spider sense in this one, but at the very end with the glider, you get a little bit of that because
spider sense completely disappears in the wrestling match.
Yeah, but he's also just getting used to himself, I think. But they make mention of that those certain species of spiders can sense around them like it's their spider sense. So they talk about that up front. And that really only plays at the finale when he gets out of the way of the glider and then, Norman kills himself. So
what do you think of Green Goblin's costume in this movie? Looking back on it, I liked the helmet shape a lot more. I just think they should have accented it with the colors that he wore also.
It looks like a cartoon, but real. Like it's a realistic recreation of a cartoon costume.
Right, I'm just saying on his costume, it shouldn't have been entirely green. They should have added some of his other detail and colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Not much. What's the other one that he wore on there, purple?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of purple in there and on the gliders,
So
and there's purple trim on the pumpkin bombs and stuff that he has.
So he should have just had some purple on his outfit. Just, I mean, I don't know. I guess it doesn't make logical sense, but whatever. Doesn't need to.
It works.
The helmet looks very military-like, besides the shape on it, it's just
besides the existence of it,
like the alien piece on the back. The part where the dome goes off, like if you just cut that back portion off, like the front of it looks very military.
Except for the goblin eyes, teeth, and mouth, and all that horrific shit.
But I mean, that would be terrifying if you're in war, though, to have something like that. Wouldn't it? To have a bunch of people come at you like that. I like how
more terrifying, that or naked.
And then to portray the human emotion, they've always got to have like Spider-Man's mask speed up at the end, and then Norman's lens covers move away from the eyes at the end, so you can kind of see.
Who made his suit?
What?
Who made his suit?
The military.
Spider-Man. He draws it, which he's a really good artist, but
he's a really good sewer too.
That's fucking.
He's really good with spandex, and the Spider-Man lines. Those are just those gel things that you squirt out. He's just really good with it.
I think he got Aunt May drugged, so she wouldn't remember making it, but had her make
that
it.
Spider-Man costume is so awesome though, because I love that 3D trim on it that makes it really stand out. Like if you're gonna adapt that character to film, like why not do that? Now the newer stuff's way more traditional, but for the first one, I really like how that stands out and makes it kind of unique. So.
Well. I had a good time with it.
So did I. Now I want to watch the other two.
That's what I was about to ask. You guys itching to watch the other two?
You know how much I sacrificed?
I could watch the second one, but I don't know the third one, surprisingly. I just never could bring myself to buy it.
Topher Grace's Venom is
I haven't
just
seen
so
it since the
fucking
theater, I don't
strange.
think.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And I like Topher Grace as an actor, too, which sucks because
if you wanted, he could have been Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He looks more like a brother to Tobey Maguire, and they played brothers in a movie called Brothers.
He's the same build. And they even mentioned Brock in this first movie. They're like, Brock's on assignment somewhere else. And then it's like somebody else new to town. So like they break their own continuity in this trilogy.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Not the only example either, I don't think.
And then they do mention, Doc Connors as the Lizard, just saying, you got fired? Yeah, I was late to work again.
Dr. Connors fired me.
And then she's a waitress.
Don't tell Harry.
Yeah. Then at the end, though, let's talk about
Exactly.
the very ending, like where she's like smooching on him, and he's like, "I'll be there as your friend," and you're like, "You dumb bastard."
Well, then she kisses him and then realizes pretty much that it's him, but doesn't know for sure.
Yeah.
You're a really bad kisser, just like Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like the second time you've done that to
I
someone.
have a strong psychic belief
That Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Bruce Wayne is Batman. All right, let's move right along.
Well, I still need to do a theme song for this one, but
we need a theme song right
about
here.
the only one I have in here is something.
I need a theme song, so listen to me close.
You mean the?
I will sing this song, so please listen up the most.
You mean the pitch a tent thing?
Yeah.
Why do you always play the Jesus music?
Turn that off. I hate that. I fucking hate that.
I love it.
You're giving them flashbacks.
It was fun the first time, and after that, it just fucking angers me.
Organs? You don't like some pretty organs?
Not fucking church organs.
How about this shit? Welcome to the Frog Brothers Podcast. I'm your host, Alec. Now get out your vibrators.
I will sing to you about pitching this summer tent pole. So pitching a summer tent pole.
Turn off.
We've got a great one for you here. So how are you going to pitch a tent in the summertime? We'll tell you. We'll tell you all about it.
I'll tell you how we're going to talk about the movie, TV show movies.
Since I'm assuming Nick didn't do his homework like usual,
I did.
We're going to have him go first.
You and I both didn't do our homework that 1 week.
I know.
Shut the fuck up.
I just like calling you out and blaming it on you.
Well, I did the Jetsons. Did we say what we're doing?
Well, we are doing a live adaptation of a beloved cartoon.
Mm-hmm. I did the Jetsons.
You did?
Genius, genius, genius.
Who was the best lay?
Judy.
Good answer. I was hoping you'd say Astro.
I was about to say, what's the dog's name? I didn't catch his name, but...
Close second was the maid. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to cast the maid. Shit.
Oh, you just needed voice.
That dog is also voiced by Don Messick.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he sounds so close to Scooby-Doo.
That's why you like that dog as much as... Well, it's a dog, so of course you like him. I say dog, and the dog looks over here.
There's some different time periods for this casting, so we'd have to have like a time machine.
Oh, you're going to get complicated?
Because of the ages. And
couldn't you just pick like a year? I mean, I understood if you wanted to be like, well, this was made in the 90s, so you only use 90s people. But if you're using people from multiple decades, that's worse.
Well, okay, let's say early 2000s, late 90s. I think that would work.
That'd probably be the best time period to make this movie.
So
yes, judging by that,
Steve Martin as George. You just have to give him red
Sold.
hair.
Okay, I like that. That's a good one.
Jane Curtin as Jane.
All right.
I'm down.
Danny DeVito as Mr. Spacely, of course.
God damn.
Mhm.
Man, you're on a roll.
Yeah, I want to see this.
You're impressing me, Nick. Congratulations.
Christina Applegate as Judy.
Yes.
Back in her
Sold.
Early Married with Children, where she had kind of that white blonde hair.
Yeah.
Just like
What do you
Judy
think
does.
about fucking Christina Applegate? Nobody watched Donnie Darko but me?
No. Yeah, I just don't remember that specific line.
I don't think I've watched that in maybe a decade.
Oh,
even though I do really like it.
We're going to cover that sometime.
And
Go
I
on.
got Jake Lloyd as Elroy. That's the only one I could think of.
Oh, man, that's funny.
That's actually, he's kind of got those chubby cheeks for that round then, so that would work. I could see that. Man.
But apparently
That's a Haley Joel Osment.
There's an episode of the Jetsons where you actually show the
That's
surface and there's like hobos down there. So I'm thinking like there's like a class war between the rich people in the sky and then the
People on
hobos.
surface.
It'd be like a modern...
Who voices the robot?
Yeah, I forgot to do that.
Pick one now. Roseanne.
Fuck that. Wanda Sykes would be so good as
Oh,
Rosie.
Wanda Sykes. There you go.
Fuck yeah.
That's
That's
even
what I
better.
would love to see. I'd love to hear her
Well,
do
she was
that.
around back then because she was on...
Yeah, she was in
on,
Pootie Tang and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, she was on Curb the
She did stand-up.
She was on
Yeah,
Curb in
she's hilarious.
2000. So.
She should do more voice acting, I think. I need
I think
a
she had
petition
a
for
new
that.
stand-up come out recently on Netflix or something, too.
Yeah, she's
HBO
still
or something.
funny.
I don't think I've ever listened to her stand-up.
Jesus, you're missing out.
I like her in movies and on Curb, though.
Well, I guess I'll do one of my movies, and then I'll let you go.
Oh,
And then
okay,
I'll do the
thanks.
other one.
Hang on, who's directing?
I have no idea.
Okay.
You didn't come up with the directors or writers or score? Oh, man, that's my, favorite part. Because then it envisions the whole, feel of it. Because I would say whoever directed the Flintstones movie should direct that. Maybe even the writers, too.
Yeah,
You
because
take
that would have been
same
the next
team.
follow-up.
Well, there's also that theory that the Flintstones was going on the surface.
Well, where they
on the
meet them
Jetsons.
is awesome.
That
movie.
cartoon
The
movie that came out in
yeah.
the early 90s.
But I think
That's
there was,
so good. We need to
there
cover
was
that,
time
too.
travel with that, though, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Yeah, it wasn't just, surface to not.
No, these are quite hilarious. I didn't take them too seriously. I just had to go with them. But
All right.
I thought of two, and we'll go with the first one over here, which is going to be Captain Planet.
All right, I fucking love it.
It's like that
stupid.
College Humor video where they got Don Cheadle playing.
Well, not like that, obviously. This would have more of a Guardians of the Galaxy feel because it'd be directed by James Gunn.
Ooh.
Who's playing Captain Planet?
Directed by Amanda Silver, who is the writer of Jurassic World and the newest Planet of the Apes stuff. Big
Writer or
eco
director?
movies, basically.
She's writer or director?
Writer.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
Hang on,
director.
can I throw out a suggestion before you name your Captain Planet? Because I'm going to go strictly by hair. John Stamos.
If it was 1995, fuck yeah. But
Well, if
Okay.
his skin painted, yeah.
I went more with
Who's your director?
James Gunn.
Oh, that's right. You said that. I'm sorry.
He said
With music by Mark Mothersbaugh, of course, who I've picked before in this segment.
Who dat?
He did Thor Ragnarok,
Mm.
and he did all the Wes Anderson movies.
He's also a member of Devo.
Mm-hmm. So he has
You're familiar with
lots
his
of
music.
electronic and shit vibes. So Gaia, who is the woman that calls them all together,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
black
it's
woman,
voiced by Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
is going to be
Wanda Sykes.
no, the girl who Lupita Nyong'o from Black Panther.
So this is a modern Captain Planet movie then?
Badass,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Captain Planet is none other than Paul Rudd.
Okay.
Jesus.
He's got
He
the
got
hair, too.
charisma. He can do it.
He can do the action. He's done the Ant-Man stuff. so you know he can do
Kwame,
that.
who was LeVar Burton in the show, is the African guy, is John Boyega.
Okay.
Wheeler is the kid with the red hair, which you're going to get rid of and cast Joe Keery from Stranger Things. Steve Harrington.
Nice. Okay.
Wait, you're getting rid of gingers?
You can make him a little more reddish hair. Doesn't matter. But he has fucking hair. You know what I mean? Linka is the girl from Russia, which is going to be Chloe Grace Moretz. You know who that is? Little girl from Kick-Ass and stuff. She's in her mid-20s now.
Yeah.
The girl from Asia is Charlene Yee, who's actually in the news a bunch recently because she's the one calling out Seth Rogen for the James Franco shit.
Oh,
but she's in
nice.
Knocked Up as the
Calling him out.
stoner girl.
Calling him out for what?
Supporting James Franco still. We're not going to get into that. That's not the
I thought
point.
he publicly said he was not going to work with him ever.
Yeah,
again.
but there's, you know.
There's always more shit to that.
And I didn't cast the person Mati from Brazil because I couldn't find a famous enough Brazilian actor
Just get
or
a white
actress
person.
that I knew.
God.
And I didn't want to pretend to know what I was talking about. And I wanted to say that Hollywood needs to get up there with some Latina and Latino actors.
When in doubt,
Well,
wash it out.
And when you think about that, you know, that specific casting makes me think of Star Wars casting some Chinese film stars because, you know, they're new, they're hitting those big markets.
Right. Actually, I almost cast, instead of Charlene Yee, the girl from Star Wars.
Oh, Rose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she'd have been a good choice, too.
Yeah, because I think she
has a similar.
She has a very good similar, like, heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, just her demeanor and stuff, yeah.
Duke Nukem is the villain, which is the
From the video
yellow
game?
guy
Oh.
that has, like, a mohawk and a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Portrayed by Michael Fassbender.
Nice. That's wild.
Yeah, you'd have a feel like Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World.
So is this a Disney movie?
No, well, no.
It could be. But it's a Turner movie. Who owns Turner these days?
Is that who owns?
It's Disney, isn't it?
Is that who owns?
Yeah, Ted Turner helped
Oh.
invent this show, so I guess that is Disney, isn't it?
Oh, shit. Probably. They own most of everything.
Or
Very
was
nice.
at one point, I guess. Or he was, anyway. So what's yours?
Well, mine is the TV show Doug.
Wait. I thought you did two.
I did,
He's
but
going back to his other one.
Oh, okay.
Nick doesn't pay attention to anything we say here.
Yeah, listen, you've got headphones on. You just turn them
I'm
up.
thinking about what I'm going to say.
Turn
next.
them shits up. Turn my headphones up. No.
Can't hear them shits.
Doug Funny. Directed by Seth MacFarlane because he's got the chops for animation, but he's also familiar with live action.
got
I think he'd be a good
Pork
person
chops.
Pork chop would be voiced by Billy West.
No, never mind. He's got the pork chops. So.
Yeah, I get your silly joke. Thanks, Dad.
Was Porkchop voiced by Billy West?
No. Skeeter Valentine was. No, not Skeeter, but Roger was voiced.
That's right.
by
You're
Billy
going to play Roger, right?
No.
Bullshit. There's a picture of you I got somewhere. That you look like Roger. You had like your hair over here, but you
Yo,
had this
Roger
side
looking
shaved.
ass.
Oh, yeah.
Who plays Doug?
Let's see.
Or who's writing and directing? Are you already? Is Seth MacFarlane doing both? Double duty?
Yes. He'll do co-writing, and I didn't figure out who the co-writer was. Probably somebody actually familiar with the series, the original script writer.
Some new writer?
No, the original script writer. That way they could work with Seth, because I want this to have some old school vibes to it.
Or the creator of it?
Jaden Martell would be Doug Funny.
Who's
He
that?
played Bill in the It movie. I think he's kind of soft and meaner, but when I picked him, he had such good screen chemistry with Nicholas Hamilton,
Who's that?
who played the villain. He plays the kid that goes crazy in the It movie, and he's kind of got that badassness to him, so I cast him as Roger. And then Ty Simpkins would be Skeeter Valentine. He's the guy that was the boy in Iron Man 3. He was also in Jurassic World. I think he's pretty good. He's kind of got that vibe to him. And then
He's the one that showed up at the funeral in Endgame.
Storm Reed she's kind of a younger up and coming actress, and so I'd have her be Patty Mayonnaise. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. I didn't figure out who would do the score because I'm trying to think.
Nick beat the shit out of yours this week.
I
I'm
know.
not saying anything about mine in there because it is what it is.
To be
but
fair, I've been thinking of the Jetsons live action casting for like decades.
Yeah, I did this like 30 minutes before I came over, but I was like, what's a comedy?
I did both of these yesterday.
Yeah, I just picked one that I liked as a kid that, I just haven't ever really followed up with. I've never gone back and revisited that series.
Here's my number 2.
Yeah, I loved Doug when I was a kid.
You ready for this?
Yeah, what's your second one?
2.
Sam Raimi's Gargoyles.
Ooh.
Written by Ryan Coogler.
God
Director and writer of Black Panther. Score by Ludwig Göransson, who did Mandalorian and Black Panther. The casting. Now, I know you're not going to remember all these characters' names. I didn't even remember them. I had to look up some of them, but I'll kind of refresh you about which one they look like real quick. I didn't do all. There's an extensive list of them. I just did the main ones.
You didn't make a PowerPoint?
No. Goliath, which is the main one, Idris Elba.
Okay.
Is that the one that was voiced by
Keith David?
Okay.
Yes. Older, there's one named Hudson. He's the older one that used to be a leader back in the day. Voiced, or just Bruce Willis. It'd probably be a combination of CG and costumes.
Oh, like, to kind of blend the actor into the role. Yeah.
There's one that's named Brooklyn. He has sort of a red beak, and he's red. Tom Hiddleston. There's one that's named Lexington, which is sort of like a Gollum-looking one. That's green. That's going to be Nicholas Holt, who played Beast in the X-Men movies, and the, what's-his-face in the Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, okay.
He was the little grumbly guy, so he has that going on. There's a kind of a slightly tubbier-looking one that's sort of comic relief, Adam Devine. The dog, there's a dog one, Frank Welker. And there's the woman, the human woman that interacts with them that eventually falls in love with Goliath. Zendaya.
Oh, okay.
From the new Spider-Man. And I think she makes
then
some music too.
The villain would be the evil gargoyle woman, Demona. Played by Daisy Ridley. Because fuck it. Give her a shot at something weird.
Yeah, may as well.
I used to watch Gargoyles for the only reason that it was voiced by many Star Trek actors.
That's fair.
That show rules, and I've been seeing the first season of it up at Vintage Stock. I might pick it up.
Is it streaming anywhere?
Not that I've seen.
Wasn't there a huge talks of a revival for that series like last year, I want to say?
It's possible.
They should. I think it's got enough following.
I don't personally remember it.
Well, let us know in the comments what your pitching a summer tent pole
Show
would be.
us your tent.
Or give us an idea for a pitch a summer tent pole. Set the rules for a movie, and we will follow the guidelines.
Are we moving on?
Yeah, I think we're good there. Nick, I think you... let's give Nick a round of applause.
I win?
That was good.
We need to have some crunch bars we can hand him when he does good.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, Nick. That was actually well done.
Another man's garbage is another man's gold. Leave all the nostalgia horse, just wait till you get old. Another man's garbage is another man's treasure. I know that you will hate it, and that fact gives me pleasure. Another man's garbage.
Another man's garbage.
I don't even know what this is rated, but I know that it's...
Oh, I looked when we were watching, and it was like 33%.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit of a cult film. A lot of people really like it, but it's our generation who grew up watching it.
Yeah, no one else likes it. Like,
if you show it to
don't
them,
like it, and young kids don't like it.
You had to have seen it as a kid or be an adult in the 90s. Like, our parents kind of enjoyed this movie.
I think the only weak...
But...
Well, I guess we can talk about it later, but I think the only weak point is the ending, and that's a lot of comedies of that era just kind of fall apart at the end with their...
Yeah, the ending of that feels just like the ending of Heavyweights.
Like, I hardly even remembered a lot of what happened at the end, because it's just not memorable.
Yeah.
I watched this twice, because I watched it the other night, and then I had it on today when I was messing around working at the house, just so I could remember it as well.
I watched it a lot as a kid, for sure.
Yeah, I did. So seeing this... I saw this in theaters with my Aunt Ann, and we used to always see movies with her. My Uncle Carl, and then I dragged my grandma to this movie. She's like, I haven't been to a movie theater in years. And I'm like, Granny, you're coming with us. I also remember buying some Pogs and Slammers at the mall.
That fucking rules.
While we were up there. So that was that was awesome. That was a banging fucking Friday night for that year for me. Up visiting my grandma, hanging out with family.
You need to make some major Payne Pogs now.
fuck yeah.
Some Frog Brothers podcast pogs.
Ooh, I like it. Those would be easy.
Exactly. Easy, because that's what I like. This was 1995. It opens up with George fucking Thorogood.
Yes.
Cheesy ass of the times. Bad to the bone.
Yeah, I was like... And I kind of fucking hate James Cameron for making that so popular that it popped up so many other places.
Yeah.
You're just like... so cheesy.
Yeah.
It's like total fucking dad rock for the time. They're like, hey, you gotta hear this song. It's gonna make my dick hard. Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. There was a dude on a motorcycle playing it as he was driving.
Yeah. Well, good luck for his hearing in the future.
Well, hello, Booger.
My esteemed colleague, Booger.
I like how he threatens the guy with the gun up his ass. He like threatens to, what does he say? I will clean out your asshole something better than one of those burritos with extra guacamole sauce.
Yeah. Guacamole sauce. Yeah. And I love the whole thing at the beginning. He's like, you want me to take something? You want me to give you something to take your mind off that pain?
Nick, it looks like you're
Fucking
jerking him off.
Snaps his hand. Yeah.
By the way, he's petting the dog.
Yeah, Booger's
That's
over
all
here.
Justin's wearing boxer
It looks like
shorts.
Justin's getting a double handy on camera here.
This is better than the double Dutch rudder, guys. This is called team lift.
You get the balls.
Booger's just over here hanging out with us. He's a classic. He's the official mascot of the Frog Brothers podcast.
Oh, so here's the thing I never realized growing up. I never connected this. Was that's the girl from Fresh Prince.
Yes.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
I realized immediately watching this because I've gone back and rewatched the series. I own it all.
She's so much more likable on this than...
Oh, of course. But it just shows that she's a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget, what's his name that's in Christmas Vacation?
Oh yeah.
The old man.
I wrote his name down.
He's done a bunch of shit. But
William Hickey.
It's cool to see people from that generation come back and still do roles occasionally.
Do you know how old he was, though?
How old was he then?
Take a fucking guess.
68.
That's right, because Nick looked it up.
No.
You didn't? Is that a real guess for you? Because that man does not look 68 to me. He looks about 100.
I knew he was younger than he looked, but I didn't know exactly how old he was.
He's about, I think he actually might be 67 or, yeah.
He did a really good...
He died when he was 69.
Really?
Yeah, like that was one of his last movies, I think.
Yeah, but like, goddamn.
Yeah, he had a prolific
You can tell
career.
that man smoked every day of his life.
If you can find it, look up his Tales from the Crypt episode. It's one of my favorites.
The Green Boys.
I remember from... He wants to put his head on a young man's body because he's about to die.
Oh, can you blame him?
And it's a good episode.
Yeah, you're in charge of the Green Boys.
I don't care what you do with them.
You know what I was thinking the entire time I watched this movie, but I knew it actually wasn't him. But with that cadet Alex Stone, I was just like, is that Bradley Cooper? And you're like, no, that's not Bradley Cooper because he looks enough like him and sounds like him enough.
That's the problem I was having with this. I was like, who the fuck
why is he
that?
so familiar?
And I looked him up, and I was like, nothing.
Yeah, nothing. And I was like, oh, he just reminds me of Bradley Cooper.
I thought we found something that he did.
No.
He did like one or two other things, but they're not memorable. Yeah. I like all the fucking ridiculous amount of fat shaming and shit in this movie. 90s, man.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not super sensitive to that kind of thing anymore or anything like that, but, it's still funny to see, like...
Why do I have to wear the dress?
Right? Yeah,
you got the biggest tits.
This one's prettier.
No, yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, I mean, if you're going to wear a dress, you may as well fucking feel good about it, right?
Then he wears a different dress when
they're fucking
he makes
marching.
Them run, yeah.
Okay, here's another thing one of the worst things in the movie to me, and I know Justin has to agree as an audio engineer. When he's yelling at the deaf guy.
Oh, yeah.
Third.
Yeah.
The most offensive use of ADR I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It should be fucking eliminated from the movie. It takes me out of it and it disappoints me.
It's kind of like Run, Ronnie, Run when they...
He is deaf. And you're like, thanks, we gathered that.
My foot. Yeah.
They the somebody in there was like, we need to add a third there. It will be really hilarious if you do it and sound really dopey about it.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure that guy loved to have his only line cut from the movie.
Right. No, I'm sure there wasn't even a line there because it wasn't even on him.
Oh.
So it was just literally thrown in because they do that in some movies sometimes. They'll be like, we need some extra shit here, so we'll throw it in when we'll cut to the other person. It's crazy how you can manipulate a film that way. But
I don't know if you guys ever noticed in the Ghostbusters at the end when Peter says, or he says, this man has no dick, and then says, well, that's what I heard.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like a really
clearly
weird
80 yard.
Yes.
And it's like, why did they throw that in?
It works. I mean, that doesn't take me out of the moment too bad because it's blended fairly well. But
yeah, some of them like that stuck out bad. Sometimes when it's, I can always notice it just as an audio engineer, pretty much. And if I don't notice it, then good on them. They're doing a great job. But
well, it wasn't that it was ADR. It was what it was. Right?
No, well, it's just additional dialogue.
What? No, I mean it's the fact that it was an offensive interpretation
it's both.
Of a. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the fact that it was just added there to create more tension in
If
a
it was
scene.
that actor just portraying it offensively. Another example is Revenge of the Nerds. The black kid in that.
Is that a dubbed by a gamer?
Almost all of his dialogue is dubbed.
Really? Okay.
Awfully too.
I thought he did it himself.
It all sounds really whispered and like this. And you can tell it's in a microphone in a booth somewhere, and the kid's always like this, and the dialogue doesn't match up, and it's just
it's been a while
bad.
since I watched it. But
yeah, when we watch that sometime, we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the other crimes that movie commits.
So back to Major Payne, though. I mean, Major Payne is amazing. He's like, it's been 2 weeks since I killed a man.
Oh, I love that
already
shit.
I got that itch.
Have you seen...
Problem is, I got nothing to scratch.
Apocalypse Now? I think that's what they're going for in that.
Mm-hmm. And then he kills that rat, and then he hisses at that cat. It's
I
so fucking hilarious.
love that.
Like, that whole setup is amazing.
Well, when he calls the kid girly mouth.
Yeah.
I always liked the cupcake part as a kid. That was really always good to me.
Like, they swap the cupcake, and then he just farts and knocks the kid out. The little ginger kid that actually is in the movie Angus.
It makes me want to eat cupcakes so bad, and I'm like tempted now. Even
it does look delicious.
Doesn't that piss you off when there's like a movie with a delicious pastry scene, and then you'd have no pastries present?
Right, and it's not like
goods. It just pisses me off.
Walmart's not even 24 hours anymore, so you can't just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get some cupcakes because I don't give a fuck about anything, and I'm making bad decisions tonight." But I can't even do that.
We need a 24-hour grocery store again.
Mm-hmm.
Is Hy-Vee even closing again?
They close at midnight. I think.
Oh, okay, because they used to
11
be
or
24
midnight.
too.
Son of a bitch.
All right. So what else about Major Payne? One of my favorite scenes in this whole movie is where she's trying to teach him about nurturing, and he goes in there and shoots up the closet, and he's like, if the boogeyman's still in there, he ain't happy. And then the kid quotes him as saying, like, about executing him, and you're just like, oh, man, that's so
With
funny.
extreme prejudice.
Yes, with extreme prejudice. Yeah, that's amazing.
Or the little engine that could story.
Yeah. Oh, that one's great.
She's like, that was great up until the part about the eyes gouging out.
He's talking about Kron. I can't feel my legs. I
Well,
said, Bubba, they ain't there.
Unless, of course, you can do a handstand, you ain't gonna make it. And walk out of here. You're like, damn, that's brutal.
You know what really pleasantly surprised me? Because there's a song I've been singing a lot around the house lately, and around you guys lately, and I put it on the Frog Bros mixtape playlist when I made it a couple weeks ago, because it's in Idle Hands.
Pop that coochie.
Yes.
Well,
It's Pop That Coochie in this, but I'm like,
Coochie,
holy
yeah.
shit. There's a lot of shit in this movie, like the kid in the dress in the bed with him and shit. That's like, this is a children's movie, basically. That's kind of fucked
Yeah,
up.
it's like listed as
That's
a family
really
comedy.
right, that's what I mean,
The
like-
language and the subject matter is.
That's what I'm saying, but
pretty
like,
adult.
Was it PG-13? I don't even know.
the humor
I
is
don't-
practically,
it's gotta be.
I don't know, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's on point, and it's funny, and it holds up well, I think, for
I like
the most
his
part.
fantasy when he's at the train station looking at that house
It's PG-13.
and imagines himself killing assassins and shit while barbecuing and
Yeah,
shit.
barbecuing at the family barbecue. Yeah, that
I
was
love
amazing.
that.
And she gets mad at
And
him.
she's
and
just
he's like,
Yeah, it's like all sitcom-y.
The kid that plays Tiger, he's great, too, because he's so believable, and he's just himself.
Yeah.
And I love how, like, they have some story arc for him, right? Where he's having struggles with everything, but at the end, like, he's the one that kind of does the...
He's clearly adopted by them, I think, at the end.
But even at the end, like, how he helps them win the games by being the arms leader or whatever for the final drill. I thought that was pretty cool.
So this is somewhat based on a 1950s Charlton Heston film.
Interesting.
Fuck Charlton
The
Heston.
Private War of Major Benson.
In
which
his
that's
back
his
pussy.
last... Or wasn't his first or middle name Benson?
Yeah.
I don't know, fucking
I think
know.
Benson's his first name. because his last name is
Benson Williford Payne.
Yeah. No, it's one of those. It's just silly enough to be funny, and it's not, and it's kids, so you get a kick out of it. I had fun watching it. I mean, I watched it a second time today, so that's how much fun I had watching it. It's just hilarious, and I could quote so much of that movie I didn't even realize.
Mm-hmm.
Nick and I were watching that with Liz the other night, and like she fell asleep, but I was over there just talking like Major Payne the whole movie. The boogeyman's still in there. He ain't happy. And I love how asininely annoying he is as his character. And he just fucking rolls with it.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he goes dancing, he's like, "Let me dig deeper into my repertoire."
He does the robot really well.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's
crazy.
why they threw that in there, because they're like, "Hey, what kind of silly shit can you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I got some silly shit for you."
Well, he also helped write it.
Yeah.
Damon Wayans, legend.
I think it's funny that we're reviewing this on Memorial Day, and this kind of makes fun of the plight of the traumatized soldier.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, they're talking about nurturing, so they're already aware of it around that time, I think. But I don't know. I think it works well. It's
I have
a silly,
response.
funny movie.
What?
Just let me find it.
Who gives a fucking shit?
There we go.
Yeah. So, anyone else got any closing thoughts on Major Payne?
It rules.
It held up.
Yeah.
Like, for not having seen it since...
It's one of those movies.
Speaking
early
of held up,
2000s.
I'll hold it up now. The DVD.
I think I enjoyed it just as well as I ever did.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, it was hilarious. And then after that, I loved watching as a kid, and then I haven't revisited it in a while.
I think at some point when I used to watch it, I started turning it off at the end.
Oh, yeah.
For the competition part, because I don't remember.
Well, it's the very last part of the competition where they make him leave to come back and stuff, and like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just clearly like final act resolution. And it doesn't feel impactful because he doesn't do anything besides be there for the kids. But I mean, I guess that's like his.
Well, they play
that's his story arc closing, is that he learns to be more caring to other people.
They play the end pretty straight, and it's not really funny.
Yeah. I guess that's really the biggest downside of that, is it's so funny up to that point that it just kind of derails in that last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
move along.
All right.
We now return to the real Ghostbusters.
Diane, 11:30 a.m., February 24th. Entering the town of Twin Peaks.
Pretty good. Bill Murray's the funniest man on the planet.
Episode by episode.
Doesn't he look like he's gonna suck your dick?
Maybe he is.
He's like,
is that why you always try to look like him in pictures?
I don't know.
I was talking to Nick. Hey, so we're talking Twin Peaks now.
Now we're talking Final Destination.
Season 2, Episode 4.
Laura's Secret Diary.
Laura's Secret Diary.
Fancy.
There's some good stuff in this episode. You know, a character that I really enjoyed, and is the judge.
Mm-hmm.
Like his whole conversation with Leland there, and like they're trying to figure everything out. And I know that's later in the episode, but that's just one of those things that really stood out to me, is because I liked his character a lot, because he's like, hey, you're a lawyer. I'm really trying to be sympathetic. And he talks about seeing him in Valhalla just because he knows that he's already admitted to this murder.
Yeah. I always really like Leland. And this is one of the episodes where he starts to really shine in his ridiculous, crazy performances.
Yeah, he's much more interesting to watch now.
Basically, he's confesses to killing Jacques Renault.
Mm-hmm. And he's like,
because he thinks he killed Laura.
Yeah, and he's like, well, the man you arrested, like, do you know his name? He's like, well, I do now.
Yeah.
That was good. We see Josie's return, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then Pete has to tell her that his wife's dead.
Yeah, Catherine is...
We haven't found the body yet, but we're going to give it a few more days, and then we'll have a service.
Her head was in the park cleaner.
The food critic is coming to town. Supposedly, there's rumors of that. Empty Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that's sort of popping around in this episode. The
hell are you doing, Nick?
Jean Renault blackmails Ben.
Yes.
With the video of Audrey for $125,000.
Yeah, that's good too, because he's like, is this about my insurance rate? Are they going up? He's like, no. He's just like real casual and calm about it. And you're like, oh, okay, what's going on here? And then you're like, yeah, by the way, here's a VHS tape of your daughter kidnapped in a chair. So.
And then he has to call upon Cooper because they want he wants Cooper to drop off the money because the guy wants to kill Cooper.
And then Cooper asks Harry to come in for him, which I like that at the end when like he shows up at the bar and he's the good man for him. He's like, I'm the man for the job this time.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Anything I need to know? Their relationship continues to grow even though Harry's like really kind of reserved and he's a little enigmatic just in the way you don't learn a lot about him, but it seems like he's so observant about what's going on around him.
Mm. Harry's such an interesting character, and his relationship with Coop is the foundation of this show, so it works. It's great. Harold reads some of Laura Palmer's diary to Donna, and that's a pretty fucked up scene. Harold's just a weird and interesting character. Short-lived.
Yeah, I mean, he's really just here to introduce this diary, and I feel like then that's basically the end of his usefulness in the series, really.
Then Donna starts working with Maddie because she wants to steal the diary from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have that conversation in the diner saying, hey, we got to get this. She's like, I thought the sheriff had it. She's like, no, there's a secret diary.
You remember when I told you about my sperms test?
Can I retake it like a driver's test?
Yeah, that was an amazing line. And I love how Coop calls her out on that. He's like, whatever it is, we got to get it out in the air. And she's like, do you want to get, he asked her, do you want to get back together with him? And like, she doesn't know. And then Harry's like, man.
But she is pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
because that asshole that
Dick Tremaine.
So why is he trying to get his sperm to work now?
Well, he's wondering if his sperm was working.
He isn't sure because she hasn't said anything to him about what's really going on.
He's like, I started wearing boxers just like you told me. So it's like he's trying to get them to work now is what I was
No, he has been for a while.
Oh, okay.
Because, that's when you learn that they dated for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And that she broke up with him because of a list of some small bullshit. And he's like, did you work on any of this with him? And then she's like, no. Which is a fucking great question. Like, he's really on point there. I really think that's some good writing.
Yeah. So Lucy and Andy talk, and then Dick Tremaine and Lucy, he offers the money for the abortion.
Yeah,
Are you still seeing this, Dick?
Yeah.
One of the most iconic lines from the show.
He's such an asshole when he gives her that money because they don't even say abortion on TV, but,
like,
it's very...
Take this money, put it in your wallet or pocket.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah.
Her and then go out the double doors, and the right one sometimes sticks. And then
and then get in your car, unlock your car, get in there, turn the key over,
and never talk to me again.
Yeah. Which she's like so much the soap opera character in this, which is funny, just because it's like it's a little different for her to be in there, kind of breaking things up.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that. And then I love that he's like $650 should take care of it. It's all the money I could scrounge up, and she likes him because he's a fancy guy with a fancy job that sells clothes. You're like, motherfucker might get a discount on his clothes, but he's not very good. He's not a good man.
Nope. Speaking of Josie being back, Jonathan's character now.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of mysterious, hanging around there, and he goes and threatens Hank.
Oh, yeah, he does.
At one point, Josie introduces Jonathan to Pete as her cousin or something, right?
Yes.
Her cousin, I think, is what it is. But that's not what he is. No. Spoiler. Spoil.
Don't spoil things.
Spoil it. Snape kills Dumbledore.
What? Isn't that in the Lord of the Rings movies? Trigger.
That was in Star Trek, the next...
Deep Space Generation.
The next butthole, I don't know.
Make fun of Star Trek.
We can make fun of whatever we want.
I'll make fun of everything. Yes.
You got all the reward and recognition you're getting tonight, Nick. Now we're free to say whatever we want.
Fucking Spock sucker.
Make fun of Alf.
There's nothing to make fun about Alf. Alf is a perfect show.
I'll make fun of Alf. I talk about, hey, Willie, take out your Willie. Put it in my mouth.
Yeah, he already makes these jokes for you. Booger just leaves the room when you say that. It must be a sign of trauma.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Let's see.
What else in this episode?
That's
the ending of the episode's pretty awesome. Because you see, what's the guy's name that's discussing things with Josie?
Jonathan?
That is Jonathan? That goes
Jonathan's the guy who's also Asian?
Okay, yeah. So he's the one that's...
That didn't go very far.
Yeah, it doesn't work very well, does it?
You need to suck the air out before you put it in.
I got a bum one.
That sucks. Go swap it out. There's like thousands of these things at the store now.
There's still a lot in... It goes a little farther that time.
Don't bother Booger, man.
You're picking these up.
So that fight at the diner at the end in the dark, that's pretty awesome. And you're just like, all right, where are we going from here? And I like how they always make it a point to end on something that just wants you to see the next episode, even though they're not going to pick up right where they left off.
Yeah.
That's just not how that works, but it's fun.
I'm going to take this set, mine, and shoot random people with it in the eyeball.
That'd be fun.
All right, well, good luck with that personal liability lawsuit against you, so have fun.
Oh, there's your soft foam.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I'll just tell somebody you stuck a sewing needle in it.
That'd be fun.
All right, so any other final thoughts on this Twin Peaks episode?
I don't think so.
Nick didn't really watch it. He's watching it on his phone, kind of, sort of, when I got here. So.
Well, that happens.
I was watching that.
Mm-hmm.
I remembered exact lines of dialogue, for Christ's sake.
So I got to tell you, next week is Ghostbusters week. We're going to drop our regular episode. We might do a special event episode just to kind of recap a few things. But on Ghostbusters Day itself, the Interdimensional Cross Rip and Yes Have Some are already doing kind of a big double-sided...
We're not doing a regular episode.
They're doing a double-sided adventure for Ghostbusters Day. No, we'll do our Monday show, but I meant if we'll do anything supplemental.
Oh.
So...
It will be probably if we do in reaction to something that happens.
Yes. It might be a reaction video. So that would probably just be on the YouTube. So anyway, we will see you next week. I hope you're partying hard. I hope you're doing things that make you happy. And I hope that Nick continues to not fail us on this podcast.
Yeah.
Prodcast?
Because
You just said prodcast, and you just
sometimes I say things
well,
wrong.
also, yeah, so if you're not on the YouTube, www.youtube.com/thefrogbros. We got a couple new videos up this week. There's going to be more new ones up this week. Also, some toy opening videos, more Twister stuff that we haven't unloaded yet on you.
Yes.
On your face, neck, and chest.
Much more.
That's about it, really. If you haven't left us a review on like iTunes or Apple or something, do that. That'd be cool. We're going to have a Patreon and Facebook group and all sorts of cool shit happening this summer, so keep your eyes open.
These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers.
Shut this off. Shut these all off.